What's going on? We back with another video. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow back with the boxing clinic. One time for the one time. We in the building. You know, we did some good work last week for it not to be a week of a major fight. Once again, shout out to Regis. Pro. I'm just gonna call him Pro. The light junior welterweight did his thing. Friday night fights. I mean, Showtime boxing. The little Showtime boxing card. Banged out Joel Diaz Jr. On Showbox, exactly what it was. Shout out to him. Brandon Bam Bam Rios is returning tonight. Best of luck to him. But let's talk about this Kovale war fight. Unofficial prediction video. Just some shit for YouTube Live to keep it moving and spice some stuff up. The official video, prediction video, come out tomorrow. You know how I do it. And then whatever happened during the week, release of another 24/7, I cover it. Press conference, if you get, it's nice and juicy, I cover it. And then final thoughts Friday, and then we live after the fight. Usually an IOTBA boxing group on Facebook, or then I dropped a review and the reaction video, then a review Sunday, reaction right after the fight. So, for everybody that don't know how we working over here. But as far as the fight, man, I was listening to 7A Sports, man. Shout out to him, man. And his little prediction video, I don't know who the guy he was talking with, but he was pretty knowledgeable as well. They was talking about how Kovalev is being successful on the outside with Andre Ward, how that shocked a lot of people, and it shouldn't, for the simple fact that since we really seen Andre Ward step up in competition with Miguel Kessler, it was basically like everything was up close, middle range, and up close. Andre Ward isn't a great outside fighter. Of course, versus Carl Froch, he had a large speed advantage. But mostly he kept it in close quarters. And when he at his best, it's usually up close or middle range. He's not one of those guys that's gonna really outbox you. So I wasn't surprised that Kovalev was able to do good on the outside. Especially looking at Ward moving up versus Paul Smith, Alexander Brandon, and Barrera. He didn't look, as fast as he used to, as crisp as he used to. And pretty much I made the assumption, even with my prediction video the first time around, I picked Sergey Kovalev because he didn't look, like a fluid athlete. You can go back and watch the video. I'm pretty sure I think I said that. Think I said that he don't look like the same fluid athlete that he once was. He never was a fast twitchy athlete like Roy Jones, Andre Darrell, like Matrix type of athlete, was super quick. But he was a good fast athlete that had good technique. But mostly he's a close range fighter, and that's when he's at his best. And I think the misconception is he's this great fighter in the mold of Bernard and the Floyd and the Sugar Ray Robinson, the Leonard and all that stuff, where he's able to box on the outside in a safe haven and win fights that way and mail him in. But that's really not Andre Ward's style. He's more of a grinder, a holder on the inside, working on the inside, and even though people see him as the guy that's less stronger than Kovalev in this fight, he still wants to work on the inside because, just because you ain't strong on the inside don't mean you can't work on the inside. For Andre Ward, he's not a great outside boxer. He doesn't even have long arms. I think his arm reach is 71 inches. I was watching a little Carl Froch fight earlier, and I don't think he has the longest arms. And he's not super quick, especially at 175. You could tell it's a decrease in speed. Let that be with the layoff or with the moving up in weight, because in the amateurs, a lot of people say, oh, he fought at 178 pounds, I think it was. But the only reason he did that was to allow Andre Darrell to make the Olympic team, because only one of them can make it. So he jumped up a weight class to get him two medalists, a gold and a bronze medalist, which Andre Darrell was the bronze, Andre Ward was the gold. So speaking on Kovalev, and he's open to talk, in the first fight he talked about he got gassed, tired, looking for that one punch. But his only major mistake, the reason why we're talking about a rematch, to be honest, is because he didn't cut the ring off on Andre Ward. He let Andre Ward get his equilibrium back and let him improvise with his feet. He didn't cut the ring off. If he cut the ring off, he knocks Andre Ward out. He caught him with a partial shot, not even full extension on the right hand that he hit him with, and the jab was immaculate for him. It was good, the power jab. And I think this time around he's gonna have to change paces on that and kind of vary it. He throws it in the same power jab manner and kind of in the same rhythmic manner that Andre Ward kind of really, was kind of adjusted to it. But as far as him in the first fight, the reason why he did slow down is kind of he was looking for the one punch and he didn't work to the body enough. But he never really had to, because usually him punching you to the head was, good enough to intimidate guys to not want to continue to fight. And I think the body shots on Andre Ward that nobody really was paying attention to, slowed him down. That took the gas out of his tank. The body shots, those little body shots that Andre Ward was hitting him with, really slowed him down. When is the last time you've seen somebody actually go to the body, even though Ward, it wasn't the best body attack I've seen, but when the last time you've seen somebody go to the body on Sergey Kovale? Nobody's really willing to, risk a body shot to take a headshot from Kovale. Andre Ward took that risk, and it paid off for him to get back into the fight. And he did. He did muscle his way and maneuver his way back into the fight. Kovalev was coming forward, trying to really press the attack, and Andre Ward was eating him up from that point on. And I've seen the adjustment that Andre Ward made after the knockdown that kind of leaned me to believe that he can win this fight. He would win a rematch easily. And then, I pretty much thought about it, man. Like, that was a hard fight. And do I trust the corner of Virgil Hunter? I don't trust Virgil Hunter, man. Maybe he's just one of those guys. I said it a number of times, doing, just talking, basic fights up to this fight, just basic talks. Maybe he's one of those guys who's a better in-gym strategist. I hear people say all the time, well, he never fought as an amateur or a professional, and that kind of rubs people the wrong way. I've seen Floyd Mayweather say it, and I think that's where the noise started for that. But, you hear his advice in the corner is more of a motivational speech. Like a preacher preaching a sermon to you, trying to tell you to get up and do this and do that and do this, but not telling you the proper way to handle it. It's nothing technical coming from that corner. Like Freddie Rhodes, that's him. Most of his fighters only have an A plan, but Freddie can't talk in the corner, because it's parking, so we understand that. So, with Pacquiao, Boo Boy, and then Marvin, with the most of the fighters, does the rest of the talking. For Virgil Hunter, it's just like, dog, what do you be telling like Fon Ford? He did give advice. He told him not to punch, which rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But I kind of understood it, because to keep everything in front of you. But, you just don't, you have to take an opening, in the chance. And, he gave Fon Ford some bad advice, and Fon Ford just kept walking into Adonis Stevenson left hand. And I couldn't believe, he went, the distance with him the last time, he just kept walking into that left hand. And he regressed in that fight. Not even just from him getting knocked out, he regressed into his approach. He walked right into that left hand. So, if I had to trust a corner, it had to be Kovalev corner. Even with John David Daxon not being able to talk. But basically, you looking down this fight, you looking at what adjustments have Kovalev made. Can he just, he seems mentally fragile to me. And that's what scares me about this rematch. He's doing all this different shit, not training as hard, moving his head, trying to work on defense. He said that he trained for this Andre Ward fight like it was the biggest fight of his career, which it was, but he said Andre Ward underwhelmed him, and he overtrained for Andre Ward, But it seems to me like he's overhauling his training again to accommodate that Andre Ward is very, very good. So he's doing all this new head movement. He's running less miles. He's doing all these different things in training camp, using the water noodles and all this stuff he had never really used before, working on head movement, and they're trying to make this big overhaul adjustment. But if you believe you won, why would you need to do that? You should do it. The only mistake that I seen him make, basically, was not cutting the ring off. If he cut the ring off of Andre Ward and worked up and down to the body when he had him hurt, we wouldn't be here talking about a rematch. So that's what scares me about that fight for him, is that he's just overhauling his whole approach to this fight, which his approach wasn't bad the first time. It's just that you didn't cut the ring off. So he's overhauling his whole approach for Andre Ward. So what if it doesn't work and you regress this time? And that's what scares me about picking him. And for Andre Ward, what if he's just not that good anymore? What if the move up in weight is just not inducive to him? It's just not positive. It's just, he's not reacting well to the weight, and maybe it's just over with. Many people have thought, that he would retire after this fight. And I think he was dead ass serious retiring after the first fight. But I think the fans questioning whether he won made him fight this fight. And I say he may retire after this fight because all the other top fighters, other than the Ukraine guy, Usyk, whatever his name is, they're, primarily, affiliated with Al Heyman, and Jay-Z, James Prince, and Al Heyman don't mix, if you know that history. With Floyd Mayweather being in the middle of it. So, basically it's basically they negotiate with Al Heyman, or they let it go to a purse bid, which he won't win every purse bid because Brock Nation pockets ain't that deep for him. They're not gonna win every purse bid versus a powerhouse like Al Heyman. So, that's what I think about him, him going forward. I think this is the pinnacle for him. I think he closes it out here. If he wins, I think if he wins, he rides off into the sunset. I'm talking about Andre Ward for sure. But as far as for Kovalev, man, I think, before I give you official prediction right here, unofficial prediction, that's what it's called, but before I give you a prediction here, this is a prediction I'm going to stick with, I think it's better if Kovalev wins from this standpoint. We know if Andre Ward wins, loses and Kovalev loses, Andre Ward wins, he's already said he doesn't want to fight Adonis Stevenson. Because he knows, him and Al, they ain't going to do that shit. And I don't know if he's scared of Adonis or whatever it is, because Adonis Stevenson is actually, no matter if they strip under the ring belt or whatever, he beat the guy in Chad Dawson. Even when Chad Dawson went down to 7 pounds, and who the fuck was negotiating that for him? What lineal champion moves down in weight to fight another lineal champion? That just doesn't mix. And that fucked Chad Dawson's career up. And Chad Dawson not having dog in him. But Adonis Stevenson beat him. Even though he was handicapped, he did beat him. He's the lineal champ. No matter if they strip under the ring belt and give it to who, God knows who. And that's Adonis Stevenson. You still want to beat the guy. And Andre Ward just continues to make piss poor business decisions. And Rock Nation is supposed to, there's some reports out there that I heard a couple weeks ago that they could be folding and pulling out of boxing. With him and Rigondeaux and Miguel Cotto, they letting their biggest star parting ways with their biggest star, Miguel Cotto. I can believe it. I gave some deep thought to this. I actually did 2 prediction videos, unofficial prediction videos on this in different boxing groups. And I kind of was leaning towards Kovalev. And then today I woke up in the morning, I was leaning towards Andre Ward. But so many people think Andre Ward is going to win this fight and really win it by a long shot. And I really had to dig deep and just really, meditate on it and think about it and see how it's going to play out. And I just don't trust the team of Andre Ward. I'm sorry. I'm picking Sergey Kovalev by late stoppage this time. I think he stops him in the 10th round. I just think Kovalev I think he's, as much as, mentally fragile he is, I think Andre Ward is mentally shook up as well. Anytime you think about talking about retirement, you talking about retirement, like that's the bitch way out. When you still have some gas left, even if you was using it as a negotiation tactic, and they was talking about he was seriously retiring from his team, I just don't like the way he moves. I've never really been a big Andre Ward fan after the Super 6. Even though I wasn't a big fan before, I just don't like the way he moves. I don't like his personality, as just being, bland and vanilla. And I just don't like the way he carries himself. Now, he carries himself professional, but I just don't like him, man. I'm sorry. I just really don't have no love for him. As far as what he's and it stands for boxing, he's a good fighter. Great fighter, But as far as marketability, likability, and he's just very, boring. I'm sorry. And I'm not saying that plays into my prediction with him, but in the ring, I don't think he's as great as he was at 168 pounds. I don't think he is. I think him losing a few steps, I think it's real. I think it is what it is. I don't think he's going to come back and be the Andre Ward that he once was. I think the move up in weight is equivalent to Roman Gonzalez moving up in weight and losing to the Filipino guy that he lost to. And I think the weight, Father Time and then moving up in weight in boxing sometimes, you can't defeat it. I got Kovalev by 10th round knockout. I think Kovalev is smart enough to know this time what he has to do to close the distance. I think he's going to, come out hot, and hopefully he doesn't blow all his steam off early. And I think Ward survives the onslaught just a little bit, but I think Kovalev is smart enough this time to know he has a couple tricks in the bag, adjust late, and I think he stops Ward. I think he's going to work the body a little bit more, and I think Ward's going to drop them hands. He's going to stop him in the 10th round. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We gone.